What's up, Misfits? It's your girl, Misfit Rora, back at it with another story time video. But before we get to that video, of course and foremost, if you haven't subscribed, you should probably do that, because over here we have a lot of fun. We do tons of stuff, challenges, I tell stories, I'm starting to do how-to videos, I'm starting to do an I Try series where I try different things, I recreate makeup looks, I do tons of stuff. If you haven't seen my past videos, I will link them down in the description below, along with all my socials, along with some other links where if you want to help donate to the Black Lives Matter movement, that will also be down in the description below. Let's donate to the good movements that are going on right now and just help any way that we can. Protest any way that you can. I'm not saying loot places. I am not saying break laws. I am saying peacefully protest. I am saying that we just need to fight for what's right. That's all I'm saying. And also, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you guys know every time I post. We are gonna get right into this video. Give it a like, share with your friends, your dog, your grandma, I don't care. Share it with whoever. We're trying to reach 100 subscribers / mobsters, family members, so let's get to it. Let's get there. I know that we can. And give this video a like if it gets to, let's say 10 likes. If it gets to 10 likes, because I know at first I was saying 50, but I over exaggerate a lot. I expect a lot, which is why I'm here. I expect a lot of myself, and that's what I'm doing. So if you guys can get this video to 10 likes, I will continue doing story times, and if not, then I'll just stop telling story times and we will do challenges and other stuff like that, because I understand you guys don't want to know more about me. But anyways, let's get on to this video. There was a fly in my face. So this story time is how I both broke my hand and got stitches within 2 months of each other. No joke. I'm not kidding you. Like, this isn't an exaggeration. I literally broke my hand 1 month. Literally a week after it healed, I got stitches in this one. So let's tell you that story. So I was in an abusive relationship for a good 2 years, and I really did love him. It wasn't like physically abusive, he didn't beat me, but it was very mentally abusive, very mentally draining, and very toxic for both of us. We both were very toxic for each other, and it just didn't work out. And me and him were fighting in this very room, actually. And so me and him are fighting, and I can't even remember about what now. It was something so ridiculous that we honestly should not have been, literally screaming, beat red face at each other. Like, it was getting to the point where I felt like I was gonna faint. And so this is the time where I broke my hand first. I walked out to my backyard. I grabbed my mom's rake, which I still owe her. I'm sorry, Mom. I will buy you a new rake still. But yeah, I grabbed my mom's rake, I smashed it, like I blacked out. I don't even remember this. I just remember like coming out of my blackout and the rake was smashed, so I just assumed that I did that because he didn't. He stayed in here the whole time and I was the only one that went out back. So I assumed I smashed a rake, and they think that in that process is when I actually broke my hand, but because I had so much adrenaline, I did not feel it at all. And when I came back in, I was still so mad and my adrenaline was still so high that it was all bad. Okay, so I come in here, he's in here hyperventilating and crying about all of this when it wasn't even that big of a deal, honestly. I was just mad. And he was all like, oh, I'm worried that you're gonna leave me and da 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 da. I know. Anyways, so I get mad because I feel like I'm the worst person ever for making him cry and all of that. And I take my already broken hand and I smash it against the wall. And I smash it on one of the pillar thing studs. I smashed it on one of the studs. And I punched like this. I didn't punch like this. Or like this. I punched like this. Okay? I just got mad and I went, yeah, after that, I still didn't feel it, like, I didn't feel like it was broke, I didn't feel anything, but me and him, over a little bit of time, we calmed down, and I was all like, anytime I, like, moved my hand backwards, or, like, even just, like, waved it like this, it hurt like crazy, and we didn't wait, like, a whole day. It was, like, an hour when I was figuring this out. Like, I was like, oh, it hurts to move my hand, it hurts to move my arm. And he was all like, I think you might have broke your hand. And I was all like, no. I was like, I think I would have known if I broke my hand, right? And he was all like, not always. A lot of people do say that sprains hurt more than breaks, which is very true. I didn't even feel it. And then he was all like, can you raise your hand up without it hurting? And I was like, no, like, I can't even push it through the air without it hurting. Like, it hurts like crazy. He was like, yeah, we need to take you to the ER. I think you broke your hand. And so I go to the ER. They take x-rays of my hand. They put a temporary cast around it, and they set me up with an appointment to go see the doctor. They tell me right then and there, yes, I broke my hand. It was a weird boxer's fracture. So a boxer's fracture usually breaks outwards, but mine broke this way. Because, you know, I was smashing the rake, it pressed against that and it broke. So that's how, like, it actually broke. And it was, like, my bones were like this. Not, like, they had to, like, flatten it out so that way it is like this. But I went to the bone doctor guy for broken bones. I don't know what they're called. If you know what they're called, put that down in the comments below, because I need to know this stuff. I am like the most ignorant person you will ever meet on the internet. Like, I'm really ignorant. Anyways, he tells me it's definitely broken, as you've already been told, but we're gonna have to re-break it so that way it's actually sitting right, and then we will put an actual cast on you. And I was like, not like an actual cast, but like the same temporary cast, but just a different one. And it was more inclusive. It actually covered my hand and not like it was like this. This is how my hand was. It was covered like this. And so I still have pictures. If I can insert a picture of me with my cast after I broke my hand, I will. I'll put it right here. Or I won't actually put it right here, because with this video editing app, I have to, like, put it after a little bit of the video. So it'll probably be after a little bit of this part of the video. But yeah, that's what I looked like with my cast, and it sucked. I couldn't really do much. I had to learn how to be ambidextrous, which, if you don't know what that means, it means that you can use both hands to do mostly anything, like write, eat, wipe your butt, I don't know. Like, you can do almost anything with both hands. And that's how I slowly was ambidextrous, because yeah, I couldn't use this hand, so I'd use this hand. But after that healed up and the cast came off, everything was fine. I was really careful with my hand the entire time. I took care of it. I didn't get the cast wet or anything like that. I was really smart. I was really good. Yeah. A week after the cast comes off, me and my ex are in another fight. And he is standing a little bit further away from me. and I won't lie, I'm ashing out a bowl, and if I'm not gonna say of what, it's not of any hard drugs, it's not anything hard or anything like that. But I still shouldn't have, you know, wasn't legal, but still. I was emptying out a bowl and I was about to load a new one, and I was just sitting there, emptied out, and he was screaming at me. And when I get really, really hurt or upset, I'll just sit there and I'll just soak in everything they're saying like a sponge. I won't like say anything. I'll just sit there and soak it up, especially when I'm really hurt. And he had said a lot of things that really, really hurt me and hurt my feelings. And I told him that it hurt my feelings, but he didn't care, and he just kept going. And I sat there and I kept emptying it out, and I started hitting it harder. I looked in the bowl, it still wasn't emptied. So I was like, okay, so I'll just hit it harder. And I hit it harder and harder and harder. And then one of my friends, they were sitting out in the living room for a little bit talking to their boyfriend. They heard me starting to tap out the bowl, and they heard me tapping it out a lot harder than I normally do. So they came to check on me to see that I was okay, because they heard him yelling at me. And she was like, are you okay? She was like, Aurora, you need to stop. She's like, Aurora, you need to stop. You need to stop. You need to stop. And then, like, literally, I didn't even really hear her. I just was soaking up everything he was saying, and I just went smash, and it just smashed right into my hand. And you can still see the scar. It ends right here, starts all the way right here. So it almost like took off my finger. And his first words were, great, our last bowl piece. And then it was, oh great, and now she's bleeding. And so I didn't say anything. Him and my friends start arguing because they're just not, you know, they're not agreeing with how he's treating me and all this stuff. And I yell at them both to shut up, and then I tell my ex to take me to the hospital. I wrap a sock around my finger, and he takes me to the hospital. I am so like coursing with adrenaline that it doesn't exactly hurt. Like I was so in shock that I was even bleeding. And I get there, I'm waiting for very little time, to be honest, because it was bleeding a lot. And they wanted to make sure I didn't do any nerve damage or anything like that. And so they take me in. I'm in the ER. They take me in, and I'm sitting in my little room. And they come in. They remove a little bit of the glass. They clean it up. It hurts. Like, it hurt like crazy when they cleaned it. Obviously, because they have this like little tube that's filled with like water and some cleaning solution, and they just put it on it, and they did not care, like, at all. They did not care. They just squirted all of that. And she goes and tells the doctor, as far as I can see, there's no glass in her hand. And he says, okay, that's great, I'll go get the numbing needle. Which, if you know what the numbing needle looks like, it's huge. And it's not like big, but it is pretty big. And it hurts a lot. It hurts to have it done. And they were like, okay, I'm gonna go get it. And they come back, and like literally gives me chills because I can still feel it. This is how much I hate needles so much. And they stick it in, and I scream. I shoot up. I shoot up. And I swear I'd never screamed so loud in my life. My mom was standing there. She was like, what's going on? My boyfriend at the time was standing there, and he already knew obviously what was going on, but he was like, you're okay, we got this, just breathe, she tells him, like, after she had told the other doctor, hey, there's no glass in her hand, and she sticks the needle in there, I literally feel, like, as she's putting the needle in, I feel it scrape against a piece of glass. It's in my finger. And I scream at the top of my lungs, there is glass in my finger, there is glass in my finger, take it out. And they did not listen to me at all. They sewed it back up and called it good, had me kind of wash off my hand very, very lightly, and then they wrapped it up, they bandaged it up, and sent me home. I didn't even get any pain medicine for anything. They just told me, if it hurts, take Tylenol, which Tylenol didn't help at all. So I just didn't even bother. I just dealt with the pain. When, like, literally them re-breaking my hand and having to put the numbing agent in my finger was probably the two most painful things in my entire life that I've been through so far. And that tops smashing my finger. Like, I smashed this finger in a car door so bad that this bone right here literally shattered, and it had to sit in a splint for weeks. Like, I've been through a lot of painful, hurtful things, and that was the most painful physically thing that I have been through in my entire life. And obviously I know that they can't really do anything to fix that. I mean, they could have taken the glass out of my finger, but unless it's a life or death situation, I do not want to go under surgery. Like, I do not want to go under the knife at all. So you will not be seeing me getting no nose job, no cheek fillers, nothing like that. It's not for the fact, oh, I want to stay all natural. It's for the fact that I'm terrified of it. I'm terrified of the horror stories. Like, I know that there's more successes than horror stories, but still, there's always that even 0.1% chance that you are the one that they mess up on, and you're just like, for the rest of your life, or you're dead, like, or you get a really nice lawsuit out of it. So, but yeah, I don't want to go through that ever again. I hope I stay smart and never let my anger get the best of me ever again. And if you have ever been in a relationship that was abusive, you kind of know that it's hard to leave, that they play mind tricks on you. You know, it's hard to leave. And obviously there have been so many women that have been in real physically abusive relationships, but at that same time, mental toxicity is just about as unhealthy as being physically hit, because it puts the same emotional stress and mental stress on you, you know, like you're constantly, like, you don't trust people as easily, you have PTSD from certain actions that people take now, and like it affects you either way. And if you haven't been in one, then you kind of have no reason to talk. Even if you know somebody that has been in an abusive relationship, you still have no reason to talk, because you didn't go through it. You don't actually understand what it's like. You understand what it's like to see somebody go through it, and it is painful, it is hard, but it is not as hard as if you were to go through it yourself. So please do not come at me in the comments and being like, oh, she has it good, da 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 da. Trust me, I know that I could have been in a lot worse situation. And I know that there are several times where it could have been worse. But that's what makes me so grateful, is the fact that it wasn't worse. And I have a voice that can sit here and say, don't take that stuff. If you're starting to see the signs that he just doesn't care about what you think, he doesn't care about your dreams, he only cares about his own time, there's a lot of toxic signs. He constantly manipulates you. He tells you who you are instead of letting you be who you are. Like, There's a lot that I could just go on and on and on about. If you're starting to see those signs, get out while you can. Do not sit there and just make excuses for them like, oh, they've been through this, they've been through this. The right person will not treat you that way. Will not treat you that way. So do not take it. I know it's a lot harder than it sounds, but there are numbers that you can call. You can call family members. Like, get away as fast as you can. And if you are truly scared, put a restraining order, to call the police, get a gun, do what you gotta do to protect yourself, to protect your own. I love you guys. Please stay safe. Please check out the links that I put in my bio, in the description, on the bio. In the description, I put links for the Black Lives Matter movement. I'll put a link for a fundraiser to help women who've been abused. All links to even some videos that are pretty popular of mine, links to all of my socials, etc. Those will all be found in the description below. Please help where it is given, and please help if you can. Like, literally any dollar helps. Any dollar helps. Even a dollar helps. I'm just saying, a dollar can buy a pair of gloves. Like, just think of more than yourself, and maybe you might do something good for somebody. You never know. Like, a lot of people want their life to be meaningful, but you have to do meaningful things in order to do that. You have to take big risks. You have to do something and not just be selfish and only care about your own and yourself. You have to protest, make posts about it, create awareness of the things that you are passionate about. And if you aren't, you're not passionate about it. That's just plain and simple. But anyways, please give this video a like if you like this video, if you like the stories I tell. If you have any video recommendations, please leave those in the comments below. And please definitely subscribe, become part of the Misfit Mob, and please turn on your post notifications, because that's how you're gonna find out when I post. And if you want to participate in polls or give your opinion on anything that I post, again, my Insta, Twitter, and Facebook, and Snapchat are all down there. So go give me a follow. I love you guys. You are loved. You are beautiful. You are needed. You are unique. You are one of a kind. And you are special. I love you. Stay safe.